guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you a review on the Highlight and Contour palette by TheBalm. So if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts about this palette and also seeing a demo, then just keep on watching. So the TheBalm Highlight and Contour palette was just released in January and it is $36. You can get it on the TheBalm Cosmetics website. You can also get it in stores at Kohl's, which is great to be able to swatch things in stores. And you can also get it on Amazon, which is great if you guys have Amazon Prime and you want to get 2-day shipping. I know I always take advantage of that. So this is a palette that has a lot of variety in it because you're getting 2 matte highlighters, 2 shimmer highlighters, a bronzer, a blush, and 2 contour shades. I did receive this recently from TheBalm in a recent PR package. But I was actually going to purchase this at IMAX a few weeks ago, and the only thing that was stopping me was the layout of the palette. I just felt like it was very compacted, everything looked very small in the palette because I want to be able to dip my brush into any of the shades and not have to worry about double dipping basically. You're actually getting a lot of product in this palette. You're getting 0.754 ounces of product. Compared to something like the Anastasia contour kit, I'm sure you guys are really familiar with this kit. This has 0.44 ounces of product and it looks like it has maybe more or pretty similar, but this palette has almost twice as much product as this and it is $8 cheaper. So you're definitely getting a really good value in terms of how much money you're spending and how much product you're getting. So I do wish that the pans were just slightly wider. I don't have any trouble putting my brush into any of the highlight shades or even the contour shades because those are pans that I use more precise brushes with, but especially with the brush or the blush that I use, it can basically layer into the bronzer as well, so I kind of have to pinch it, which is a little bit inconvenient. So that's the only kind of downside, especially using the blush with the whole layout. And I'm really happy with the cardboard packaging and how there is a mirror in there as well. And I just think it's a really cute palette. It's a really awesome palette to travel with because it is very compact. I don't need anything that's big and bulky, especially for a contour kit, because I do like to bring just one kit with me when I'm traveling no matter what. So I do like the packaging overall. I just wish there was a little bit more space for the blush, but it also comes with a mirror, which is not the case for a lot of contour kits, so you do get some wins with just a little bit of a loss for packaging. So I'm going to get into all the shades, and as I'm talking about all the shades and swatching them, I did use this entire palette on my face today, so you guys will see a demo on that. And I'm going to start off with the matte highlighters. So first you have this yellow shade, which is basically just something that I would put on my under eyes. I don't use it so much down the center of my face. I do like yellow under my eyes. I still really like that. I know a lot of people don't really do that anymore, but especially because I have yellow undertones, I like to use that one, and it is very, very sheer. And then we have this matte pink highlighter, which is basically just a setting powder, and I like to use that down the center of my face. And this is also a very lightweight powder. You guys can barely see those, but that's what I actually need for something that is going to be basically almost as a setting powder for my face, because I did use this under my eyes and then the pink one down the center of my face to cancel out any redness. And next we have the shimmer highlighters. We have this champagne kind of rosy highlighter, which is very pretty. It's very pigmented right off the bat. So I really love this highlighter. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see these swatches a little bit better, but this is a very, very pretty highlighter. It's very pigmented and I like how it's very fine. It's not like a gritty or glittery highlighter at all. And then also the champagne highlighter that's very similar to Mary Luminizer, but this is a bit darker than Mary Luminizer. But I actually like the texture better than Mary Luminizer because it is a little bit more fine than that one. So it's going to be more subtle, but you're going to be able to build it up too. So I know all of these look very subtle, but I like that they're really creamy and you can build them up, especially the highlighters, because I did go in with just a few layers of both of these combined, and I think it looks really pretty. And then I'm going to go into the blush. I actually love the blush. It's very, very pigmented, and I feel like it's very universally flattering. It's like a mauve-y kind of darker toned blush. It has some pink to it too. And I think that's just really flattering for a lot of different skin tones. I think it's definitely flattering for medium or deep skin tones. It's super pigmented, so if you have fair skin, you're going to have to be careful with this blush because it can get very very pink right away. And I actually today I mixed the blush with the bronzer, and I do not recommend wearing this as a bronzer. It's super orange. I did test it out as a bronzer. I knew it wasn't going to work, but I wanted to let you guys know whether or not it was going to work. So this is something I just mixed with a blush today, and it kind of tones down this blush and makes it more neutral, which is really pretty. And this is like a peachy kind of color, and it's hard for me to even believe that that's a bronzer color because it's so orangey too. So that is a color I definitely just recommend using as a blush and definitely not as a bronzer. And I can get away with kind of orangey bronzers with my undertone, and that is not a bronzer on me at all. And then next we have the 2 contour shades, and that's kind of the other letdown in this palette. I just wish there was a bigger variety. I wish that they just switched this out with either a light contour shade or a true bronzer color. But basically, if this was replaced or this one was replaced with a really lighter bronzer, then you can use both of them together and just kind of make your own customizable shade depending on your skin tone. I just feel like these are 2 very deep colors that aren't going to be flattering on everybody. I did actually apply them both on my face, and I feel like they do work on my skin tone. But if you're any more fair than me, these contour colors are definitely going to be very deep. So this one is on my cheekbones. It is the deeper shade, and this is a lot more cool tone as well. And that is the color. It's very smooth. It's very pigmented, but you can also blend it out very easily. All of these colors are incredibly creamy, so I really do like that. Like, the formula is awesome. The only hesitation I have is the actual color selection. And then lastly, we have this contour shade, which is a little bit, it has kind of a weird undertone to me. It is a little bit more warm, but it's not leaning towards orange. It almost has like a yellowy, slight green, especially you guys can probably see it in the pan. It has this like little bit of a greenish hint to me. It doesn't look like that on the skin, but definitely in the pan it was making me nervous to use it because it's just like not the most flattering shade. But when I swatch it, it actually looks pretty nice. And I'm wearing it all over, like down the perimeter of my face, on my forehead, and on my cheekbone today. And I think the combination of both of these actually look really flattering on my skin tone. But like I said, if you guys are lighter than me, you can use it, but it's going to be, you're going to have to basically make it work or be careful not to pick up too much product at a time, because these are more so for like light to medium, medium to deep skin tones. So these are all the colors in the palette, and they are all super creamy, pigmented, and blendable. All the light shades barely show up on me because they're basically the color of my skin. So those actually work really nicely on me, especially these 2. I would say that the lighter matte highlighters are a bit deeper than some other palettes, which actually suits my skin pretty nice because it's basically blending in with my skin tone and just correcting whatever I need. But if you have fair skin, like this yellow powder will show up like straight yellow under your eyes. I just don't think that this is the best palette for fair skin tones, especially with the contour shades being deeper, and you can't really use another color to play with in this palette to basically like tone it down or water down the pigmentation of it. And also the blush would be so pigmented and deep. I think the highlighters would work great on anybody. I just feel like this palette would be best for anybody who's like light to medium, medium to deep skin tone. It just has a lot of pigmentation and it has a lot of deeper shades in there. So I definitely do recommend checking out this palette. I think that the formula is awesome. It's super pigmented, creamy, and blendable. It reminds me a lot of my favorite contour kit from Lorac. It's very similar to a lot of the like the formula in general, not a lot of the shades, because you do get some lighter shades in this kit. You guys know I love this kit to death, but it is a very similar like pigmented, really creamy formula if you guys are familiar with those. I actually do think that they're a lot more smooth than even the Anastasia contour kit. I don't use this as often because I just find that the powders are a little bit difficult to work with, but this is definitely more beginner friendly because you could blend it out so easily. But like I said, if you have a fairer skin tone, it's probably going to be too harsh. It has a lot of deeper shades in there. So that's everything for today's video. Let me know if you guys have picked up this palette or you plan on picking it up, or just let me know what your favorite product from TheBalm is in the comments down below. And in my description bar, you guys will also find my link for my huge giveaway that's open to my YouTube subscribers and Instagram followers. So make sure you're following me on those so you guys can enter to win that giveaway. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.